Oh man, since we're actually going to start for the 5th time in a row now, and we're going to welcome everybody back, but Jim, you're a little out of practice there, buddy.
What do you want me to say?
I don't know. How about some excuses as to why we were gone for like 5 months?
So you don't want me to say, welcome to show 28!
Oh, see, that's better. Yeah, let's use that one. That sounds good. Now we can make excuses why we were gone for 5 months.
Kind of scraping the bottom of the barrel, but it'll get the job done. Get her done.
Yeah.
Actually, it's good to be back, but I think everyone knows by now. Mark and I, our dad got very sick in September and October, and he was diagnosed with lung cancer, and it ended up being a very fast and aggressive one. And because of his age, he was 82 years old. He opted for he wasn't a candidate for traditional battles for cancer as far as chemo or surgery or anything. So he opted for hospice care at home. And Mark and I took a few weeks off from work so that we were there every day with him right up until December 13th at 1:55 in the morning when he passed away to go be with God. So we miss being here. We miss making fun of Brent. I really miss making fun of Mark.
Thanks.
But even in front of my dad, I informed my dad several times about the particular traits of his son, Mark, and he whispered to me that he knew all this time, but he just tried to, ignore it. But anyway, that's why we were gone. We were taking care of my dad, and
That's good.
My mom needed a lot of help. And
I beg to differ with you, Jim, but, me and Dad had our own little talks, and to show you where his priorities were, he handed me an envelope where he told me where it was. It was about a week before he died. He said he wanted to make sure everyone was covered with Christmas, and he said in my sock drawer in the corner, there's an envelope with a bunch of money. I want you to distribute it to everybody for Christmas. And so I looked in there, and there was like, oh my God, almost $3,000 in $100 bills, and he told me to take it. And a few days later, Jim was there with him, and he goes, Jim goes, yeah, Dad? He goes, over in the corner next to the dresser. I want you to have it. He goes, well, what, Dad? He goes, there's a jar of pennies.
Yeah, it's real funny, Mark.
Yeah, so I think it goes to show you. Okay, speak no more.
Yeah, it's real funny.
Anyway, it's good to be back. It's great to be back. We got emails from people saying that they missed us, and so hopefully we'll get back on track with a regular show. Thanks for your emails and your support. And
dude, I didn't know anyone was listening. That's the only reason why I've been unprofessional all this time.
One of the emails actually said they love it when we ad lib and shoot off the hip, and told Brent that he needs to lighten up.
Yeah, and then the 10 others said the exact opposite, so I guess we can keep everybody happy with
you must have kept those letters and pinned them up on your wall.
Mark doesn't even know what ad lib means.
Anytime somebody says something nice about me, I have to make it some kind of a spectacle.
Hey, real quickly, guys, along the lines of your dad, he was an awesome man, I thought, for the time I got to know him, and I'm glad you guys were able to have him for as long as you did. And that's speaking from a guy whose dad passed away when I was 9. So I just wanted to let you know that he definitely had to be proud of both of you guys. You've done good in your lives, and I'm sure he had no regrets.
Thanks, bro.
Other than Jim, he had no regrets. But
other than Mark, he had no regrets.
Oh, well, at least it's mutual.
He had a good sense of humor, like both you guys did. That's where you got it from.
Yeah. Anyway, we'll get people up to speed here. For any new listeners, basically, Jim's a sheriff's deputy, Brent's a reserve sheriff's deputy, I'm a police officer, city police officer, and Ed's a retired city cop from where I used to, he used to work where I work. And Jim came
and Internal Affairs is glad those two aren't together anymore.
Yeah.
Hey, we had a lot of illegal fun together. Take my word.
No idea what you're talking about.
You say legal or illegal?
Legal. You used to use the binoculars, and I'd do all the traffic stops.
We had some fun times on the street.
Yeah, we did.
Anyway, Jim and I wrote a book on how people keep themselves safe from crime, and developed into a little website, and actually a big website, CopTalk.info. And we came up with this radio show to have some fun and let people come up with topics about what's going on and how people can keep themselves safe. And here we are.
I'm glad that you mentioned
Reader's Digest version.
I'm glad that you mentioned I don't have anything to do with the book. That's good. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. Good looking out. Slap
Brent put it together and did all the publishing.
My name's on it. I'll take no credit except for that.
Jim and I wrote it, and Brent did all the publishing and all the techno stuff with it, put it all together for us.
Ladies and gentlemen, what Brent is trying to say is that without him, there would not be a book, and I'm going to have to agree, although Mark's being a dick and just rambling on.
I'm telling you, Jim's loaded for bear, isn't he, coming in?
Oh, yeah, that's
all
good
right.
stuff right there. So, all right, so what do we want to do? We had a ton of questions come in from people. We could probably answer them for the next 4 shows, 5 shows, just the questions that we got when we were off. So
let's start knocking them out.
We can pile into that. We got 4 for today, and then I think, Mark, you did a quick article for the site about car burglaries, and I have a feeling they're back up again.
Hey, can I give a quick shout out?
Sure.
Hey, just to all the people in Southern California who rely on Northern California.
Take 2.
For your drinking water. I just want to apologize for the 20 cars that they pulled out of the aqueduct in Tracy. We didn't mean to have 20 cars rusting away in your drinking water, but that is a problem being resolved. But
body parts, synthetic engine oil, all that kind of stuff.
Did you heard about the outcome of that today, right?
No.
What's the latest?
They found him.
They found the
Both
kid?
of them?
Yep, both of them.
Oh.
Well, they found the kid. They didn't find the guy yet.
Wow.
So I guess the sheriff was right the other day.
For those in tune, with what's going on, you want to say a little about the case, Brent?
Me? Well, I mean, other than it started 14, 15 days ago now?
Over a domestic
where the kid was taken by the father,
wasn't even the father.
Boyfriend. He obviously had some serious problems, as per the news and the people who have seen it. And then they canceled the Amber Alert today, and apparently the kid was found, and they're still waiting for the other guy to come up. So I guess
apparently drove his car into the Delta Mendota Canal with a kid in the back shortly after he kidnapped it from the grandmother's arms,
and somebody actually saw the car go in there.
A farm worker saw it, but he didn't call the police till the next day.
Well, I guess it's a really rare occurrence out there, since there was 15 other cars in there.
Oh, it's very rare.
Last time they drained it for maintenance, they found over 200 cars in.
Could you imagine all the cases that you would solve by draining the canal? Oh, man. Where's my car? Oh, it's right there, dude.
So it's a sad ending where some, I don't know if we could say ass, but I'm going to say asshole, kidnaps a little kid and takes the kid with him. If he wanted to kill himself, fine, go do it. But don't take out a little 4-year-old kid. Innocent.
Yeah, that whole case was pathetic. And one of the guys at work had said, as callous as it sounds, it's almost a blessing in disguise. I mean, the mom interviewed on the news was just a friggin' piece of work, and the kid wasn't even in her custody. And then the boyfriend who she's hooked up with is a friggin' tool and a half. And the poor kid never had a chance. He's living with grandma and these 2 idiots in life.
And the girlfriend is pregnant with his kid.
Yeah.
And from what I could tell, he had a small drinking problem.
Anyway.
Go with the small brain.
Yeah,
let's move on to happier thoughts. It's a sad ending to that, but it's again, how our parolees and people that it's like
I don't know why you got to be depressing people, bro. I was just talking about the water and making an apology, and you got to bring that stuff up. That's just
I think you told Brent to bring people up to speed on the case.
Yeah, well, if I told you to jump off the Golden Gate Bridge, you wouldn't do it.
Yeah, I think you guys had a couple questions along the way here. People wanting to join law enforcement. I think in the last couple of months.
Actually, before we do that,
way to keep it rolling, Ed.
Why don't we touch?
Moving right along.
Why don't we touch on bomb safety
Oh,
and drinking. And Ed could probably take this one.
Yeah, Vegas officers are put on leave after Arizona joyride. 2 Las Vegas police officers are under investigation after they were caught speeding in northern Arizona when they were supposed to be patrolling the streets of Sin City. That's what you don't do when you're a police officer.
oh, so you're saying that for the next, we have at least one question in here about becoming a cop and having a past drug history. That's so you're saying you shouldn't speed either?
Yeah, then don't start smoking marijuana after you become a police officer, because this may happen to you.
Yeah.
Okay. Apparently,
While you're speeding.
Is that just in Vegas, or is that kind of universal?
They were 100 miles away from Vegas in Kingman, Arizona, when a Mojave County deputy spotted the Vegas patrol car and thought something was suspicious.
Did they say that they were chasing somebody?
They were off a long ways. The dispatch wasn't aware.
Yeah, the showgirls' hats out the rear windows of the car kind of gave it away.
You know, the reason I ask is because at times when Jim worked in a contract city, he would get into a pursuit and ignore his supervisor's request to terminate and end up 50 miles away in a pursuit in another city.
It was bad radio reception and Oakland wasn't far away.
Sorry about that, Sarge. I can't hear you say terminate now.
So
those damn Motorola's.
Oh, yeah, it's the radio's fault.
Oh, but they fund this show. No, though, radios have gotten much better. Motorola is just an industry leader in radio communications.
So anyway,
So can we get on with the first question here, or what?
That was about the past history to become a cop?
So, yeah, I can just read the question if you want to make it easier.
Might be easier.
Okay. So, I live in California, and I understand that most agencies require a polygraph test before you get hired. The question is he's 22, has used marijuana a few times in the past month or two, maybe for the last 2 years, once a month, he says. So, he gives a bunch of excuses as to how much he actually uses. That's fine. And then it says, because I want to start the academy, which doesn't begin for another 8 months, and the course is 10 months long, so he will have been clean for 18 months. Is there any way that he can get hired, or is he just wasting his time? He would appreciate any insight.
I must have missed something. Didn't you say a couple months ago?
It said, let's see here. So it says.
The whole question again. It's only an hour show.
Yeah. Oh, no problem. Happy to help you out, buddy. So my question is, he's 20. Can you just be quiet?
No, Ed was a felon at the age of 10, and he got.
Hey, I can answer that real easily.
This is not about it.
It was, as a matter of fact, but I'm going to tell you how.
Hey, Mark, this is why Dad liked me best. Go ahead, Brent.
Okay, Penny boy.
Oh,
a penny for
all right. So, okay, you ready?
Go.
Everybody ready? Okay, so he used marijuana a few months at a time for the past 2 years, which means he smoked marijuana for 2 years. So,
yeah, we all got the question except for Jim. So let's just go on with the answer.
Okay, so dude smoked pot, wants to go in the academy, wants to try to go get hired. Yes or no?
Yeah, yeah. March right into the police chief. Show him your medicinal purposes card there of why you take marijuana for your injury or your illness, and you should be good to go.
Well, and my suggestion is buy that paperback book that I did, How to Beat a Polygraph.
Good looking out, Ed.
The truth comes out.
They don't make your pension retroactive, Ed. Cancel it.
No, honest to God, I really did read that when I was working narcotics.
The bottom line is honesty. If you haven't smoked in a couple of years and you're totally honest on your polygraph, you shouldn't have a problem. A lot of agencies will consider that life experience, and as long as it's not recent and you're not lying about it, marijuana prior use shouldn't be a problem.
Yeah, 22 years of age is a pretty young age, and it's just out of the college time. And, I mean, agencies take that into consideration. But, dude, if you're smoking like up to a month before you filled out the application saying, oh, yeah, now I want to be a cop, that ain't going to fly. They're going to want to look at probably 18 months to 3 years of non-use, and you're going to have to support that with the drug test, the medical test, and the polygraph. So you got to make some decisions on as far as what you really want. If it's been 18 months or longer, then you're probably good to go, as long as it was just for personal use and here and there, or what was the key word when I got hired? Experimental use, but anything other than that, or any type of sales or possession charges or anything, you might want to start looking at being a tow truck driver.
There was a guy in my academy that actually admitted selling some different types of drugs, and they ended up hiring him because he was so honest. I mean, it all depends on the agency. I mean, if you're convicted of a felony, if you were convicted of sales or something, then no, if it's on your record. But each department's different. And as long as you're totally honest, I mean, you can't go in there with a list of felonies you committed and expect them to forgive it. But if your record's clean, you're totally honest, and it's all been a while back in your past, some departments may give you a second look at while others may not.
Well, let's not forget the most important thing is that there's other people that you're in competition with when you go into these testing environments and when you go to your oral boards and those types of things. And I can tell you, if Ed and I were going to try to get hired and I'm a pot-smoking dope head and he's perfectly clean with a perfect record, I'm not going to get the job.
Well, Brent, I don't know how that's going to work, Brent, because I could see an oral board between Ed and Mark, and I could hear him saying, that guy's too green. Mark, he hasn't done anything. He's like a little school kid, but Ed's done all these drugs and been a dealer and been arrested, and he knows the system.
We're gonna send him straight to narcotics.
Yeah, we could use him as undercover. He'd be awesome, But Mark, he's just so boring and so.
Now that falls back on my brother was selling heroin when I was a teenager, and I had to call him up a couple times. I had to call him for advice, and I went undercover. I go, hey, what do you look for narcs? And you go, first off, if your fingernails look clean, that's a dead giveaway. You're a cop. If you're a user, your hands are all tore up and everything else. So he used to give me a lot of good pointers.
Have you seen Mark's hands?
Yeah, they didn't see the
seriously. Have you seen Mark's hands?
This show has been a long
baby butt
time,
smooth.
It's kind of funny you make the funny example out of it, because I was going to say that some departments prefer to get somebody that has a little life experience to them versus somebody that grew up in a.
Yeah, what's the limit? 12 years? How many years can you do in prison before you're experienced? Is there a timeline?
Never mind the point I was trying to make.
No, we're going to take the guy that only did 10 years for murder. The guy with 12 years it's too recent. I love you, Mark. You know that. I haven't been able to cap on you like this for what? How many weeks? Oh, now he's going to play the.
Yeah.
I dropped the soap.
I think I turned my microphone off. So basically, this guy needs to clean up his act and then go back, and then go and try to get hired, and potentially not be disappointed if he's turned down by every department.
It's going to take a little while.
In my opinion, marijuana, he's not going to get turned down for occasional marijuana use. A lot of departments are going to consider that just life experience. As long as he's got at least 2 years non-use and he's straight up in his polygraph, he shouldn't have a problem.
Yeah, but the key word in what Mark said is occasional.
He'll need to have a good reason why he was smoking weed up until 2 years ago, and then he quit because he wanted to become a cop. What was the reason for wanting to get high on weed all the time?
Yeah.
My excuse, I was experimenting in high school, and that was the last time I did it. I didn't like the high because it made me eat potato chips all night.
That's a terrible side effect.
Why were you arrested with a hooker? I wanted to be a police officer.
Actually, we did get stopped one time in a Tenderloin when I was 16.
Nice.
That's another story,
when Jim mentioned hooker, it brought back memories, Ed?
Yeah. In fact, we wound up at the station with this ding-dong who was trying to pick one up, and they cut us loose, of course. But he was down there. We got an argument over her, of all things.
Oh, God.
So, dude, when we were kids, Mark and I raced motocross, and we had a friend of ours. We'd want to eat right and get plenty of sleep the night before a race, and we listened to this friggin' idiot who would talk us into jumping into my van. Do you remember this, Mark? We'd go down to Oakland to MacArthur Boulevard.
Oh, God.
Mark, do you remember that?
Looking for hookers.
Dude,
you were down on International Boulevard looking for hookers?
On MacArthur Boulevard.
I'm lucky Jim didn't get his car jacked and shot.
3 little white kids. Three little white kids cruising before a big race over MacArthur Boulevard at 1 a.m. I gotta tell you what, man, some of them were crazy to talk to. They just thought we were friggin' nuts, but they were some of them are pretty interesting.
Yeah, Jim had a fetish to go talk to hookers, and it just lasted his entire life.
I'm pretty sure, like on show 6 or 7, he was dating one.
Pretty
Remember
sure on
that?
show 9 I married one.
Oh, that's right. Brandy.
It's thinking about the ex-wife probably too.
All right, question 2.
All right, question 2 deals with metering lights and cameras, this is kind of actually an interesting topic. So basically, Deborah wrote in, said, are you aware whether the freeway on-ramp metering lights in California have cameras to take flash pictures of your car if you accidentally run the metering lights? I don't believe I've ever seen information posted anywhere, but she swears she saw the flash happen when they were driving by and apparently running the red light.
Ma'am, don't worry about the camera built into the stoplight. Worry about the camera in the satellite millions of miles over your head, tracking your every move and all your cell phone usage.
No, that's the one that you should worry about.
God. That's right.
So I don't know if
they have cameras at those. They have them at intersections, and it's usually posted. Normally, if there's a camera, it's got to be posted. So it might have been a reflection off a sign somewhere or something, but I've never seen the cameras on the red lights on the on-ramps.
Yeah, I know where she told me where this actually happened. I haven't gone by there because I haven't been down in that area yet, but if I go by there, I'll take a look.
I mean, I may be wrong, but I don't think they have them there.
Well, I can tell you,
white lights are timing lights.
Yeah, the other issue though is with bridges. Every bridge that has fast track has cameras.
Right.
Because the only way that they can grab your license plate information is so if you drive under there and that little fast track box beeps.
Dude, we went over the Antioch Bridge, code 3.
When it's good.
We went over the Antioch Bridge, code 3, to cover Solano County, just on the other side of the bridge, and they send us a freaking notice
ticket
with our front license plate of the vehicle with a big old E on it for exempt. And, you'd think they just void that out or whatever, but they sent us a notice asking us for $5.
Are you sure
which in turn we forwarded to Solano County. Yeah.
Are you sure you weren't going over to Solano County to talk to hookers?
Code 3, apparently.
Seriously, Mark? Really? That's the best you got? All right, next question.
So the way around that is just never put plates on your car. So all right. So the third question.
You know they have license plate kits now with little buttons you push. It lowers your license plate down when you come up to camera intersections.
Yeah, you see, Ed, those are illegal.
Oh, are they? Oh,
yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought it was a pretty clever idea.
Yeah, that's called tampering with your license
CBC
plate.
How does yours work, Ed?
So is not having a front plate.
Well, we don't need front plates in Arizona. Mine works real good. I just took a big long choke cable. When you pull the choke cable and it lowers the license plate down, you just go as fast as you want to go.
I have smoke screens and oil
Yeah, I'm getting nervous.
and lasers.
Hey, what's up, Batman?
Oh, good grief. No, I'm just kidding. I don't do that.
And Mark's Robin.
Dude, you can't make up for all that by saying I'm just kidding.
No, actually, the kit that I saw had a choke, like the old style choke cables.
Yep.
And it had that went all the way to your license plate. You'd push it in and would lower your license plate down when you go through the speed zones.
And if you stole another set of plates, you could just put those on there and flip around. That'd be cool.
That's true. I didn't even think of that. Listen to your criminal mind go.
Oh, but, don't you worry.
Did this come out on your polygraph, Brent?
Huh?
Did this come out on your polygraph?
Boy, all sorts of stuff came out on my polygraph.
One of the biggest rules in that polygraph book was if they don't ask, don't tell.
That is 100% true.
Yeah, just keep your mouth shut. If they don't ask you,
when you're doing your background package ahead of time, if they don't ask, don't tell there either.
That's right.
So so third question on here is about respect. So I guess nobody here can answer that. So
I'm out. I got nothing.
Sorry. So I'm 21 this year, not me personally. I have attended university for 2 years. He's decided that he wanted to stop his associate's degree for the time being and join the local police department. The question is, do you get any respect as a young officer from fellow cops, from the civilians, from Ed? I personally could not care less whether or not some gangbanger gives me any respect, but he is concerned with people that he works with. Do you have any tips? Anything would be appreciated. This is a pretty major life choice for this kid. So
I think of the answer I already gave you.
Don't ask, don't tell.
The bottom line is you got to earn it.
Yeah, basically, like everything else, you're not born with respect. You got to earn it.
Well, I can go back to when I rode with you, Jim, back in the day, and it was I had to earn respect. I didn't know you.
No, I think
I still might need to earn it.
Dude, that's something that's evaluated whether it's in high school, in PE class, on a football team, or whatever. I mean, definitely you have to earn it. And in law enforcement, it's no different than anywhere else. And not only are you going to earn the respect of the guys you work with, you're going to earn the respect of the people on the street. And one thing that makes me proud is, when I worked in the jail, we'd have 90 inmates, and you'd be in there alone, keeping the peace and making sure they were all doing what they were supposed to do. And they all told me, Lambert, sometimes you're an ass about things, but you're firm and you're fair, and we respect you for being fair. And it's no different than on the street. Mark's had guys come up to him and say, you know what, Lambert, I respect you. And it makes your job 100 times easier as a cop on the street when people respect you. But it's something you got to earn. You're not just going to get it putting a uniform on with a badge, especially in this day and age.
The guy in the question said, I really couldn't care less about the gangbanger. You really need to, because your ass could be on the line one day getting your ass kicked, and this gangbanger may be the one that helps, pull somebody off of you. I've always gone through my career trying to treat people with respect. If they don't want to be treated with respect, I could turn into an asshole, but I give everyone the opportunity to be treated with respect. I'll never forget one time I took somebody to jail on Christmas Eve, and he was going to be doing some serious time. And we pulled into the Sally Port of the jail. He goes, hey, Lambert, thank you. And I thought he was being sarcastic. I go, for what? He goes, I just want to thank you. I go, thank me for taking you to jail on Christmas Eve, and you're going to do several years? He goes, I want to thank you for treating me with respect. He goes, you treated me with respect. The only thing I have left in my life is self-respect. And if you tried to take that away, I would have fought you to the end. He goes, but I want to thank you. And I take a lot of pride in that. Where you treat people with respect, you're going to get respect back. You're going to be not only gain the respect of your other officers, but the people on the street. They're going to be more willing to talk to you, to give you information, and it'll just make things a lot easier. So yeah,
work smarter, not harder.
Yeah, no kidding.
Yeah. Well, it's like Mark. There's still a guy where you worked that to this day I was in awe of him when I first started. He used to have the names of crooks on the street. He knew their brothers, he knew their sisters, he knew their mothers, he knew where they hung out. He knew more about the crook on the street than the crook knew about himself. He'd walk up to him and start telling him things the guy didn't even know. They'd be like, they wouldn't even bother running from him because they already knew where to go.
Yeah, I'll go to your house and your mom's house.
Yeah, exactly. And he knew them all by heart, like it was part of one big happy family. And the crooks on the street go, you know what? We ain't going to be bothered running from this dude because we know he'll chase us until he catches us. There's no.
And then he's going to tell my mom.
Yeah, exactly, or my auntie or something or whatever.
Oh, man.
But that makes a big difference between being able to walk up to somebody on the street and just start talking to them and getting some, decent conversation versus somebody just telling you to F off and walking away from you.
Yep.
But
there's
there's
going
to be people like that anyway. But if you really treat people with respect, a lot of these people, that's all they have is their self-respect. And if you treat them with respect, they're gonna appreciate that and treat you with respect back.
That I think that's a career. That's how you should do the whole career.
Yeah.
It's a life issue. But for this guy, I would say that I don't know. My suggestion would be don't go join your local police department. Get your degree.
Yeah, that's I second that. because it'd be hella hard once you start working law enforcement to go back to school, because you're going to be overtime, you're going to be doing this and that and training, and you ain't going to have time for school, and you want to get that degree now, so later on when you test for sergeant, you've already got it in your back pocket.
Yep. Also, he's 20. He's 21.
There's extra pay involved with degrees, so yeah, get your degree first, and then get into law enforcement.
The dude's 21. He's got plenty of time.
Oh, absolutely.
So, all right. So the fourth question, this should be interesting. This is asked by Dakota. Do you think the drinking age should be lowered? Why or why not?
I think it should be lowered to 9.
9. I think the marriage age too. That should go down too.
Well, if you're in a certain religion, that's about 9 years old anyway.
Oh my!
So I'm not going to say what
Jim,
religion it is.
So Jim, if you feel that it should go down to 9, I'm going to ask you why.
It just seemed like the thing to say at the time.
Because I mean, in some cultures, in other countries, you can drink when you're 9, no problem.
Yeah. Well, if we look at all the retards that get into friggin' major problems being 21, dude, I didn't say the R word. I said something that was in a nationally produced movie. So if you don't like that, then I'm sorry.
That's an R-tard. You never.
That's what I said. I said retard.
That's like a retread.
Okay, so let's call them retreads.
Did anyone not hear me say retard?
Okay, so moving right along, Mr. I want 9-year-olds to drink. What do you think? What's your opinion?
I'm thinking we've got such a major problem now with people under the age of 21 already drinking and getting into havoc. Why friggin' lower the age and make it easier and making things twice as accessible?
All right, Mark?
I mean, if you look around at the schools, there's kids already drinking at 12, 13, 14. You know, it's always been kind of a battle where someone says, okay, kids turn 18, they're old enough to get into the military, you know, and go fight in a war, and yet they're not old enough to drink.
Right.
So people say, make it 18. And, you know, some states are lower than others, and it's got to be across the board. You can't have some states one age, other states another age. And I mean, it is kind of a toss-up. If someone's old enough, considered an adult at 18 and go to war, I don't know, maybe they'll just let them drink in the military at that age, but not in the general public. Because like Jim says, it is going to cause some more problems, allowing them to drink at age 18.
Do we know what the drinking rules are in the military currently? I thought it was no drinking.
I don't know, Ed, you got a kid in the military. What is it?
Well, he was getting drunk as a skunk from 18 on, I can tell you that much.
No, we said
the rules,
not what he was
doing,
what the rules were.
So what you're telling me is that it's illegal
to battle
in the military.
More than likely, yeah.
Hey, dude, throw me a beer.
Actually, I don't know that. I don't know that answer. Maybe I'll do some looking into that. But I mean, okay, Ed. What?
Yes.
Ed?
Lower?
I'd say lower for the military and 21 for general population, because the guys in the military are already putting it all on the line. I don't see why we can't let them have a few beers when they're on leave on the weekends. As far as the general population goes, they've proven themselves as a bunch of goofballs at 18 to be drinking.
Retreads?
Don't have the yeah, pretty much. Unfortunately, it only takes nowadays if 2 screw up, then the other 5 million are at fault also.
Right.
But that's just the way our society has gotten. So I say 18 for the military and 21 for everybody else.
Yeah, and then all the 18-year-old guys in the military can buy for all their friends when they're home on leave.
Right.
I'm just trying to be the advocate.
Well, Brent, what's your take?
I don't drink.
I'm going to go grab a beer. I'll be right back.
Yeah, I mean, I don't drink, so I could care less. I mean, as far as me dealing with drunk idiots, yeah, I've been to enough teenage parties that there shouldn't be drinking there. So, I mean, I worked in a city where the sergeant absolutely loved teenage parties and would make it a SWAT episode, you know, to go in the place. And it was one thing after another, and there's everybody in there from, 15 to 20, just drinking it up and hooping and hollering, and nothing ever good came of those, right, Jim?
No, it happens all the time.
He did leave to get a beer.
I work closely with the junior highs, and there's drinking going on like crazy at the young age.
Well, don't you deal with that all the time? Mark, anybody?
Yeah. No, it's true, and especially, with all the social networking, you tap into the kids' Facebook pages or whatnot, and there's nothing but pictures of them, smoking pot and drinking beer, and the parents say, "Oh, not my child," and then you show them the pictures, and they're just shocked. And so there's a lot of partying going on with, marijuana. If you go online now, there's several other types of, they call it herbs now, that are sold legally. They're very dangerous because they're synthetic, but they're legal because the legal system hasn't caught up to them yet. So you could buy them on the internet from all these places, and the kids are smoking them. They're getting high. They're getting sick. And it's just amazing the drug use and the alcohol use by the young kids of today.
Well,
yeah, it's got to be pretty depressing now to be working the schools and seeing what these kids are into. The worst thing back in the day used to be, try and keep your kid from going to the corner store and spotting a 16-ounce beer. Now, hell, they're spray cans of Lysol and all kinds of stuff. They're snorting, smoking, and frying brain cells and winding up in the ERs and all kinds of stuff.
Trouble is, because they don't fear the punishment. Back when the parents were able to have an iron fist and rule their kids and put out some punishment, the kids feared the punishment. Now they don't fear anything. You touch me and I'll call the police. And they're, you see it in the junior highs where the kids are telling their parents to F off. And I'm thinking, man, if I did that when I was young, I wouldn't have been able to talk or walk for probably a week. But
I gotta tell you, if I had a kid and they did that to me, they wouldn't be able to talk or walk for a week.
Yeah. You'd be down to Martinez too.
Yeah, I don't care.
We're in California where you'd be in jail, and
then I'd drive to Nevada and beat them and then take them back.
Your kid would be having parties in your house while you're in jail.
Yeah, right. He'd have something, all right.
Hey, Jim,
so, did Jim ever come back? Nope.
He must have found somebody there with the beer too.
His guys must have chewed up something else in his house. He's got a
what was the hooker's name that he was dating? So. Maybe he tripped over his connection again. That's what his excuse was last week.
I don't think it was trip.
So what other questions you got there?
We're done with questions, but the thing that Mark wanted that you hit on in that article was about burglaries, and I guess they're out of control.
Yeah. We mentioned this so many times. The crooks are opportunists. That's what they do. That's their living. They go out in the middle of the night. And most people, law-abiding people, they work their job during the day. They go home. They cook dinner. They watch a little TV. They go to sleep. They wake up in the morning and go back to work. And the crooks come out after dark, and they just go through neighborhoods. They look in cars. They look for anything. And while something may not be of value to you, to a crook, if he sees an empty bag or some kind of a bag in the back, he's going to think, hey, there's a laptop or something in there. They're going to break in. Car burglaries are off the hook everywhere. Not a day goes by where I don't hear at least 3, 4, or 5 calls come out first thing in the morning for car burglaries. And it's very simple. Lock your car. Don't leave anything of value in it. If people walk by, they look inside, they don't see anything, they're going to go on to the next car. If they see something of value or something that could be of value, they're going to break in. And I put in the story that I wrote the classic example. I went out in the morning to go to work. There was a classic wipe right in the middle of my window where somebody had wiped all the frost off it to look inside to see if there was something in there. And they were in the neighborhood. And you're not immune. Yeah. You're not immune no matter where you live. I don't care. You're in a gated community.
Oh, here we go.
I said it faster.
I think it was his wife checking to see if he fell asleep in the car from drinking too much beer again.
Well, the other thing, too, is that when I first started back at the PD, we used to have to go out there as patrolmen, or in patrol people, if you want to call it that, and you'd have to process the car as a felony burglary if they broke the window and stole anything out of the inside. Several years later, we adopted the FBI statistics, which changed the value of the crime from a felony right across the board to a petty theft from a vehicle if it was under $400, or a grand theft from a vehicle was over $400. It no longer was a $50 piece stolen off your front seat with a broken window considered a felony auto burglary.
Yeah, and did you see how crime was down that year in the cities?
Oh, yeah. Well, what happened was all of a sudden the felonies, and we even bragged for months about it too, was, or felonies are down. Well, they really weren't down. They reclassified them as misdemeanors.
Exactly.
All
they did is reclassify it.
It's an
felonies are down.
Hey, look at this. Murders are down, but unexplained deaths are up.
Sub-circs. They're called sub-circs.
I have no idea why he died.
Homicides have been reclassified to a certain degree because they don't consider law enforcement at the hands of law enforcement a murder because it was done in the line of duty. So that's actually taking some of them down too.
Two people shoot each other and it's like a mutual type thing. They'll write it up as a sub-circ, possible ADW. I'm thinking, okay, two people have bullet holes in them. That's an ADW, but because of the circumstances, they'll classify it as a sub-circ. And if it's classified as a sub-circ, the stat doesn't count as an assault with a deadly weapon.
See, to me, that sounds like something that can only happen in friggin' Arizona.
Well, no, here, I'll tell you.
People coming home with bullet holes in them.
A prime example of this was up in the west side of the town I used to work in, was unincorporated. A sheriff's deputy was there, and so was I, and it was blatantly obvious somebody had taken a crowbar and pried on this guy's front door. He just set up a big dragnet trying to find the alleged attempted burglar. And the sergeant for that particular agency told that deputy, he said, okay, hey, this is a suspicious circumstance, a possible attempted break-in. I mean, even Stevie Wonder could have saw that this guy took a crowbar and tried to bust the knob off the house. What was he breaking the knob off the house for? To put it on his own house?
Did you say that?
How could Stevie Wonder have seen that?
I don't know. Him and that other guy.
That's the point.
But long and the short of it was at that point I realized that statistically crime is just completely being covered up by agencies trying to make it look like they're doing a good job.
And when I'm drinking tonight, he was able to say statistically.
Statistically speaking, I told that guy, "Are you blind?"
I just want to know if you told the Sarge that.
I felt like it, but
Stevie Wonder could have seen that.
Now, I was able to get off
really
3 hours on the dragnet.
This is coming from Ed. Who we used to have case numbers and we used to have incident numbers. Case numbers mean that you actually write a case on it and write paper on it and take a report. Incident numbers is when you basically kiss it off and hand somebody an incident number. And
you are so in trouble, dude.
Well, no.
Ed was like the Candyman of incident numbers. So I'm really surprised.
Computer-generated number by dispatch. It's just a call had an incident number attached to it. And people wanted a number, so I give it to them. Here's the big number, 93-056741. They feel like they got something, so I'm like,
here you go.
2
months later for their insurance company, they want a report, and they give them the incident number, and they go, there's nothing on file with this. It just shows that you called in.
Oh, geez, you're giving me up, Mark, for crying out loud.
Ed, did you really say police person a little while ago to be politically correct?
You know what? I really don't know what they call them anymore. It used to be a policeman or police person or police something or other. But if you say policeman, you're insulting the policewoman, and it's like, you know what? We're not looking at your anatomy, for crying out loud, in uniform. You got a badge and a gun. And, shh, would you say put down everything? No, but I mean, honestly, I get lost in all this nonsense sometimes.
That's why you're retired.
I don't know. Thank God.
Retread.
Retread.
Then I have to inside the station writing reports the rest of my life.
Well, we're out of questions and thankfully out of time. But I guess what we'll do is we'll actually try to make this show happen on a weekly basis again, even though, I don't know, Jim will come up with some excuse not to be here.
So if we got anything out of tonight, it's that Mark likes to look at Ed's anatomy.
There we go.
I'm just saying.
In uniform, apparently.
Oh, jeez.
Well, we got to give the truth about why we couldn't have a show last week, because Jim looked at so many inappropriate websites that his computer got all whacked out of whack.
Research. Research.
Right.
You can continue that theory there, buddy.
Experience.
Well, the virus list will tell you that.
Well, anyway, hey guys, it's good to be back. It's good to laugh again after everything Jim and I went through the last few months. It's good to be laughing and back on the show, and hopefully we'll be able to keep this up.
Yeah, Mark made Dad laugh right up to the end without even having to say anything.
I was talking about you to Dad. I was laughing.
That's terrible. Probably laughing right now listening to...
Count those
you took
pennies
the
yet?
words right out of my mouth.
Count those pennies yet?
On a serious note, I got nothing but love for Mark and his whole family that were there. And, family's the name of the game. And there is so much, I think one reason why death is so unexpected or you really don't know what to do at the time when it happens to someone you love is that it's not something you really look forward to handling. But it's not something they teach you in high school. But, my God, there are so many legal ramifications with driver's licenses, with insurance, with policies, with Social Security, with everything,
Pensions, you name it.
Pensions, and it's traumatic enough as it is, but when you're not ready for it or unprepared, it makes it 50 times more painful than what it would be. But it's something to look into. Make sure that you have a will or a living trust and that you've consulted with an attorney or researched online, what should happen as far as funeral arrangements, everything else. It's an experience I wish I never had to go through, but Mark, I love you for making it a lot easier.
Well, I appreciate it, Jim, and you stepped up to the plate too. I was really, really impressed. But that's what family does. And like Jim says, even if your parents are still alive, check their living trust, because we found out my parents' living trust hadn't been updated in like 20 or 30 years, and they're actually deceased relatives on there as beneficiaries. I mean, just make sure everything's up to date. Have a talk with your family. Get everything up to date, because it sure saves a big headache in the end.
Yeah, it's not a talk you have to wait to have, until the end either. I mean, my dad was very good when he knew that he was on kind of a one-way trip. We had a family meeting and discussed what he wanted and what needed to be done, but it doesn't have to be something that you have to wait for. I mean, my God, at least we had a chance to say goodbye to Dad, but there's car accidents, there's electrocutions, there's fires, there's natural disasters, there's so many incidents where you don't get a chance to say goodbye or that you love, someone that's dear to you. But have those talks ahead of time. There's nothing wrong with having them, and you'll be more prepared.
And even if you're in your 20s, I mean, people think they're invincible. Even if you're in your 20s, think about it. Is your family or everything that you own going to be taken care of if you went out and got in a car accident today? I mean, it's really something that until it hits you and you have to deal with it, you don't think about it.
And in this day
to deal with it.
Well, in this day and age of everything being online, having access to everything, dealing with everything, that you really have to be on top of stuff, because you won't have access to bank accounts, you won't have access to anything.
Last time I mentioned myself kicking the bucket in front of all my kids, all they were worried about was who was getting what AR-15, who was getting what AK-47. I'm like, you bunch of turds. What kind of kids are you? Well, Dad,
apparently,
I'm a long barrel, H-bar,
Apparently, none of you are getting any of them.
Ed, what are you leaving me?
Yeah.
I'll give you the Glock 45. No, they all started laughing, though, but,
Can you produce some kind of list so we can take a pic?
Yeah.
No, negative Ghost Rider.
Well, on that note, everybody stay safe, be prepared, and
watch out for each other.
Yeah,
especially Jim.
And we'll see you next week.
All right, guys, it was good.
Good deal.
Later.
Take care.
Good one, everybody.